Winner bracket! The Division S playoffs continue for North America, and we have Looking for Work up against the Lost Boys. And our first map is once again Dragonshire. There seems to be an agreement that Dragonshire is just going to be the number one map in every single series that we have here. So we have, in this case, Dark Chimera on Tyrande. On the left side, we see Fury on Variant, Droplets on Zeratul, Swaps Megoo on Chen. And we're currently having Casanova on Greymane. The Lost Boys with Collusion on Anduin, Zergling on Dehaka, Cattle on Diablo, Talking Trees on Tacita, so the double support, with Hosty on Tracer, who has actually murdered people already with his Tracer the last time that we've seen him play for the Lost Boys here. So it's actually pretty fun to see him perform with a double support that he has from Tacita and the shields in particular. The question then of course becomes, how is Varian going to figure into all of this, since the taunt against Tracer has been an oldie but goldie against her for a long time now. So potentially what we're going to see here, with the addition of the follow-up stun through Tyrande and then Zeratul with the damage output. Zeratul still going into the cleave build, by the way, so Droplets not going into that auto-attack style that we see more and more in Europe these days. Obviously, Wormhole has been slightly nerfed, which means that you now have a 2-second window where you're vulnerable after you blink in. Top side, Chen also on the run here. The Panda already in a bit of trouble. And Hosting getting some damage on into that. I mean, he is really the one, Hosty is really the one that we need to pay attention to. The last time he just demolished the opponent's team with his Tracer play completely. And it's all going to be a battle between how much damage can Tracer do and how much is Varian going to attempt to shut it down. I mean, again, it's going to be Taunt on level 4. I personally don't think there's any other choice for them. So if they go into Taunt, then it's really just that interplay between the two heroes that will decide a lot in this game. There's a couple of other factors, of course, that are also quite important there. We're having up at the top lane currently Zergling with the global that he can always use to jump back down. He's obviously up against Chen, which after a couple of levels and talents is going to make the entire one-on-one a little bit more difficult for him. But generally speaking, that global factor plays a big role. Tracer taking Zeratul down already as the main fight is happening over the camp here. And now with Tracer moving in for the fight, this is going to be the end of Fury as well. So a quick double kill against Looking for Work, and they are looking for a kill right now, but they can't find one. We have 2 kills against 0, 4 against 3 quite early as the talents are coming in. Here's the taunt now, and that's really where it's becoming dangerous for Tracer, because you have the taunt, the charge into taunt, into the Tyrande stun, into the damage output from the rest of the team, and that simply has to kill the target. If you take her down with that, then you are in a good spot. If you don't take her down with this, then you have a pretty big problem, because you burned a lot of your cooldowns for nothing, and Tracer is very likely going to rip you a new one. Either way, we now still have that little battle over the shrines, and it's nearly even experience. It's really just that camp pressure that we had through the Lost Boys, taking the one on the left side and now their own, that is giving them a slight advantage. But Dehaka and Chen are still fighting it out all the way up to the top, where the main focus is here at the bottom of the map. The interesting part for me personally is actually that we're seeing the extra armor on the side of Tacita, and that's already an adjustment to the taunt. Yep, and there we go. Anduin with the immediate save. Zergling comes in, they go for Fury again, he's isolated, and he goes down. So this talent, as I just said, absolutely highlights that the Lost Boys completely understand what they have to do to win this game. They need to keep Tracer alive. Normally when you have Tracer in your game, what do you see for Tacita? Extra life leech on level 4. It's like the standard talent. There's pretty much no exceptions to it. Seriously, it's like 99.9% you see extra life leech. What is the reason that we're actually seeing the armor right now? Because they know the only way how Looking for Work is going to drop Hosty is if the burst damage is enough to take Tracer down after the Varian taunt. If that happens, then they lose their main damage dealer and have to back off from the fight. So they give her armor so that she can survive through the burst, and then is on her own with the shield and the leech. And that's also why we're going to have Anduin probably hold his cooldown back quite a lot to save her whenever that happens, as we just saw in the last fight. So that's another big one. I mean, at this point, we're having currently a pretty interesting attack down here at the bottom of the map. up towards the top side. We're seeing Swaps Magoo having a little bit of trouble with this little setup there, so he needs to be careful with it as well. They're having at the same time the taunt in again against Cattle, and well, there comes the attack. There comes the drag, and that is going to be another kill. And they are murdering it. 4 kills against 0. Level 8 versus level 8 right now. And, well, things are not looking pretty. The lead in experience is not really as bad as it could be at this point, because they're only like half a level ahead. They're having still, by now, a bit of a hybrid build, even with Seeker in the dark, Psionic Strength, after Greater Cleave. So, didn't really go into the Shadowhunter here. It's actually a little bit interesting that we're having such a hybrid. I have never seen this particular build put together yet. So, an A definitely having a slightly different approach onto that, especially when you're looking at the cooldown reduction increase or buff in the last patch on the Shadowhunter on level 1. You would have assumed that that talent gets picked a bit more if you're already planning to go into the auto attack build in the first place. So with that setup that they're running, I guess it's still very, very likely that they're going to drop the Might of the Netherrim here. But yeah, Might of the Netherrim? Am I kind of crazy right now? Yeah, there's always like 2 that I start to mix a little bit. Same when we're going into the Tomb of the Dragon Knight or the Spider Temple or something like that. Some of the names just really flow into each other. But as it stands, Tracer gets attacked again, so we're gonna answer that question in just a second, but I think I was pretty much on point there. But with all the talents that are around, sometimes you just mess one up. It's just what happens. But as it stands, the early level 10 is going to be ready for the Lost Boys, so we're going to see that. The fight is already sitting in the middle as they're attempting to go for Fury again, and now with good body blocking, they might even be able to get the kill against him. There's the taunt, Fury, oh my god, he gets body blocked completely, and thanks to the wall destroy, Tracer can move in for the kill, and that's now 5 against 0. It's not a good start for looking for work. It is really not a good start for that right now. So with this, we're currently having at the top side Zergling going up against Swaps Magoo still. That battle hasn't really turned out as much in favor of Chen as they were probably hoping for. Kills keep coming. The only thing is that so far the Lost Boys haven't really capitalized too hard on the kills. That's probably the only thing that we have to point out. Might of the Nerazim. Nerazim, not yeah, I kind of screwed the last one up, but yeah, either way. So the problem really just is that once that this continues with death timers increasing, obviously you have a much bigger time window where you can capitalize on a kill, and that's what the Lost Boys are going to try and do there. And we now also have, in addition to that, again, that attempt to go straight in for that double stun and the damage to Casanova, who went into the go for the throat. So it's all against Tracer right now. But Tracer had a fun game so far. Tracer at this point was just sitting there and was like saying, boys, this is awesome. There's the taunt again, and there's the kill. And why? Well, because this time there was no Tacita around for the shield, and that's exactly what they need. So this is exactly the combo and the execution that is needed there, and that was an easy one. You go in, you get the taunt, you get the go for the throat, and then you just drop them immediately. So yeah, nicely done. With that, we're now also having Tyrande eliminated. We're seeing currently the attack against the Haka with another taunt. In comes the bubble, and that's the save. So that's another tool in the arsenal of Collusion where he can keep Tracer alive if he's close enough. Wasn't available for him in the last fight there, or like close for that. In comes the stun again, going for Chen. Swaps Magoo, gets interrupted on the ult and goes down. If you have the ult interrupt, then you have a pretty bad problem at your hand there. So with that, Varian goes down again. That's 8 kills against 1. Still no Dragon Knight, but still massive, massive damage. And in they go. Yep, there comes Cattle again as he starts to make his little play. And they're going for Dark Chimera. And since Tracer connects the bomb nicely after the follow-up, that's another kill. 1 kill against 9, 13 now on the board, and that's another talent. And guys, this is a bit of a stop so far. Right now, it really feels like Looking for Work just can't find the answer into this. So, I mean, again, they pretty much rely on the engage to Varian and the kill afterwards. And I don't even know why he engages there. I mean, there's nobody there for the damage except for Greymane. They need more than that. Greymane is nice, but they're not going to get the kill. They engage into a 1 versus 4. Now, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt there and just assume that they didn't see the 4th hero who just rotated in. But if you only see 3, then the still same equation holds true. 3 is bigger than 2. Why would you do that? That insta-kill is not gonna happen for you. So they are in a huge amount of pain right now. They're down in talent, they're down levels. The Dragon Knight is now taken, the bottom fort has already fallen, and the Lost Boys are currently just taking them apart here. With level 13, the situation gets even worse for looking for work. Nullification means that whenever the stun comes out and Tacita is quick enough, not only is he going to have the shield ready for Tracer or whoever gets targeted, but he will have the nullification for Greymane. And then have fun trying to get your kill. So with 10 kills against 1, we already have the Dragon Knight just pushing this through. And yeah, they're starting to go straight through the bottom of the map, sorry, through the middle of the map to take that wall down as well. And eliminate that too. Top side, Chen desperately trying to push another wave out for them. I mean, again, they can't really do too much here. They're trying to get the experience and they really need it. But things are definitely not looking good for them. There's the attack, there's the potential kill, and the ult from Killusion. Killusion with the ult, Tyrande is down as they turn it around. The Dragon Knight was still there, and again, they fought the fight, they tried to go for the quick kill, they couldn't get it. Now Fury is low, the Panda jumps in, Fury is dead too as Tracer gets the kill, and they're gonna get another one. Swaps get interrupted again, wants to go for the ult. This is the second time now that he gets interrupted on the ult by Diablo, who flips him over, and we are having them 10 minutes in going for the key. 3 heroes are down. Tyrande is down, everybody just gets absolutely bodied. We have the main damage actually even from the Haka, who's been trading into Chen the entire game. Tracer is on 24,000 as well. Greymane has 36, so yeah, congratulations. The problem is that they can't get any kills. 13 kills against 1, level 16 now in their hands, and damn, like, again, this is a disaster for looking for work in game number 1. They definitely need to step up their game a bit if they want to win the best of 5 here. So if they can turn it around somehow, then I would be really impressed, because my problem is that I right now don't really see the way how they can. It's going to be way too tough. Maybe if Zeratul is able to just make some insane plays here, if he is able to get some crazy good plays out and get some solo kills, maybe drop Tacita, for example, get a quick hit onto him before the dimensional shift comes out, or gets a drop onto Tracer. If they get a good coordination there, they have maybe a chance. Again, now for Dibbles, he's alone, he should fall. I mean, he has no right of survival there. Not in a 1 versus 4. Buys himself a bit of time, but Cattle can't make that happen, especially with now Chen coming in too. And that means that the team is completely isolated down at the bottom of the map. The Haka isn't even there. So 3 heroes are in trouble, and a few of those should die. The question is how many. Tracer with an immediate move back. The Haka came in. They're willing to fight this. Diablo lost his souls, and he's coming back. The play for Dark Chimera, and she's down. Tyrande is down, so is Tracer, so 1-for-1 trade, and Diablo's back to business. And here comes the Apocalypse, flipping the targets in, and they're going to get Fury again. The Panda gets away, but as you can tell, the second keep is down too. They lost 2 keeps now. Looking for Work has lost 2 keeps. They got a few more kills out of this, but they're still a talent behind for a few more seconds. They at least get value topside, where the camp is helping the minion wave to drop the fort, but that's the first structure that falls. And they have 2 more heroes. They are just out of commission for the time being, which means there's a threat of another Dragon Knight being taken by the Lost Boys too. And it gets worse. Siege Giants at the bot lane, Catapult pushing in, the fight now focusing at the top, and the rest of the team coming in too as the Haka is in trouble. Zergling is going to buy himself a bit more time for the rest of the team to rotate. That means he also gets the shield. And now we're going for party time again, and Greymane is down. Greymane is down, there's the drag, and there's no ult available anymore for Swaps Magoo. There's the attempted solo play from Droplets on Zeratul against Tacita, and that doesn't work. In the meantime, this one at the bot lane is already pushing on aggressively. There's a triple catapult in the middle that's going to do the same thing. Droplets is on the run, and Diablo is trying to come in to take him down here. Can't target that, of course, yet. But catapults are now on the core. Any second, at least, that is. And the Dragon Knight is taken. They just took the Dragon Knight. The shields are falling, and honestly, if there's no way they're going to save this. I mean, look at this. 87%. The Dragon Knight hasn't even come close yet to the core. There's a quick punt against Varian, and this entire setup just didn't work out. No. 86%. The Dragon Knight just doesn't even care of that. Goes immediately in. The rest of the team is fighting. Killusion, he's now going up against Zeratul and against Fury. There's the ult. There's the APOC. Fury is down. They're going for Greymane now as the Dragon Knight drops the core slowly and steadily. And that is game. Game number 1 taken right here as we have the Lost Boys getting the kill, the win in game number 1 and taking the lead, the 1-0 in the best of 5. Game number 2, Towers of Doom ladies, looking for work, going up against the Lost Boys. And boy, did the Lost Boys rip them a new one in game number 1. And I'm already a little bit scared just looking at those lineups. We have a Tracer on the side of the Lost Boys again. Now, if you don't look at game number 1 and say like, maybe we should ban her out, then I don't quite know what exactly you're thinking here. But let's see if looking for work can turn this around. It's hammer time, so that's another attempt to go up against Tracer, since they go straight in for the heavy order attacks against Hosty. Droplets on the hammer, Fury on Garrosh, Casanova on Zeratul, we have Dark Chimera on Tyrande, and Swaps Megoo on Blaze. Collusion on Karazim for the red team, we have Cal on Stitches, Zergling on Samuro, Talking Trees on Tacita, and Hosty, of course, is playing Tracer. Level 1 talent for Stitches. Savor the flavor. Alright. Trying to go straight in for the extra regeneration. And yeah, Hammer is going to be interesting here. With Stitches, you obviously have at least one hero that should be able to get some easy hooks connected with her. But we also have Samuro, and especially on this map, the Samuro factor is something that can be really annoying. I mean, that thing is an absolute nuisance, because at that point, when you have your level 10, when you can be active a bit more globally, you can really just take down structures very easily. And the question just simply is if Swaps at the top lane can already hold Samuro off, or if that's even going to be an easy early game for them. Now, with that said, Hosty is already looking for kills. Now, what does he have to be careful of? First of all, every time you're in hammer range, these auto attacks hurt. That also hurt. A lot. Quick kill against Zeratul as the bomb from Hosty connects. And yep, later on in the game, it's obviously the taunt from Garrosh that's the biggest issue for Tracer, together with the auto attacks that we're seeing from Hammer. Zeratul could be a problem for her, but we're looking at the Tacita factor, and that alone should really help to keep the target alive a little bit longer, aka Tracer. This is actually a setup where I could totally see Tacita moving into the auto attack leech again, so that Tracer can make her plays here. There's not as much of a burst setup that we're seeing with the lack of a Varian with the taunt on level 4. So definitely more of a setup where the extra life leech for Tracer through Tacita's level 4 ability would work out for them. 2 stacks in the meantime for Stitches, so as we're heading into a potential late game, we might actually see them with a pretty solid setup there. Yeah, taking the camp out as both of the teams, well, not the camp, but taking one of the pumpkins down, as both of the teams moved in for this one. And all the way up to the top, we're now having Swaps, yeah, more or less yielding the spot for now. The entire time there's just vision, and yeah, you don't want to go up against that. There's an owl heading top 2. That's not the only thing on the other hand. Zeratul is also underway. The question is just if Samuro is going to be fast enough to take it. And as it turns out, indeed he is. Took the camp just as he is to move away from that one. Nicely done. And is still able to keep himself alive there too, which is obviously an added bonus. But we still have the armor. Kala's Light has still been claimed for Tacita. Okay, doesn't make the adjustment here. Still feels that they just have to make sure that the hero stays alive. Also helps to keep Stitches or Karazim in play as well when they get focused. Siege Tactics is already in, and yep, that top lane is starting to feel the pressure. It's time for the first objective then again, and this is really when we're going to head straight into the Lost Boys attempting to already try and get 2 altars. Obviously, if looking for work can at least set themselves apart from the objective, that would be great. Dark Chimera at the bot lane. Nice throw, buying a little bit of time. No hook just yet, and well, that's that. So 1 channel, and that's actually a second. So 2-for-1 trade in favor of looking for work. Nicely done by them. So, get the lead early on the objective. Starting to fall a little bit behind experience, nothing crazy, it's just like one of these things where you get the wave a bit earlier than your opponent. We're having in the mid lane now a similar push happening too. Zergling is already trying to push this one in. And yeah, just another 4 levels and he's going to be active with that global. The 4-man at the bottom of the map, breaking through the wall here. And the one thing that's also going to be scary later is going to be the 7-sided that we're most likely going to see from Karazim every single time that Cattle connects a good hook. Because that 7-sided is going to hurt. Nice attempt here, and there's a kill again. Honestly, no matter how this game ends, I don't really care who wins, but if looking for work doesn't ban Tracer out in game number 3, then I really don't know what to say here. I would have banned Tracer already in game number 2. Hosty has played so many games, several of them in these playoffs with Tracer, and absolutely dominated that it's a bit mind-blowing to me that Looking for Work just said, nah, this is fine. So I guess they felt that the auto attacks from, yeah, well, from Zeratul and to an extent also obviously from Sergeant Hammer alone would just always keep Tracer at bay, but thanks to the Tacita support, that's just an issue. I mean, you could have thought about banning Tacita too and just trying to limit the double support place a little bit. Hosty coming in again, dodging everything so far. Has to, of course, be careful as Tyranda's around, and that means that you also have the option of going for the Hunter's Mark against Tracer, increasing the damage against her significantly. 5 stacks by now for the level 1 on Stitches, which gives us the extra regeneration for him. And so far, 2 kills, and both of them against Zeratul, by the way. And now we're having the Moonlit Arrows. Okay, cooldown reduction. I could have seen Khaldor's resistance to deal with the bomb. That might have been one play for them. Zergling already gets the channel, and they're still fighting for the one at the top left. Now with the double altar phase, this is usually unheard of. They're trying to get the kill against Casanova again, and he gets saved by Garrosh. Immediate drop on Cattle, though. And in comes Zergling. Hammer still at the bottom of the map. This is a 5 versus 4. Hosty gets the channel. There's an interrupt attempt. Dark Chimera. No, they get both. They actually get both. Now that doesn't really happen all that often, that we are seeing an early double altar grabbed by one team. So normally that is an even trade. Even if one team starts to poke a little bit, it's very unlikely that it's going to happen, but yeah. In this case, we have, by the way, more of a focus into the Cleave build with Greater Cleave, into Rending Cleave, plus still Seeker in the Dark. It's kind of interesting that they feel Wormhole is not worth it anymore. Now, obviously, in case that you didn't know, I talked about this briefly in Game 1. Wormhole was changed, so now you have a lower cooldown on Wormhole, but it starts after you blink in. So, which means that you have 2 seconds where you're vulnerable, so you can't make that blink in and blink out immediately like previously. You have an activation, the activation has changed. So with that you have a 2-second window where you're vulnerable, and you can play around that, but it feels like Casanova is just simply saying, yeah, well, I don't really want to take that talent anymore, I don't think it's worth it, I think it was nerfed too hard, and doesn't use that at all. In Europe we've seen a focus into the Might of the Nerazim build, plus also an auto attack focus with the Shadow Hunter on level 1, but still Wormhole later on. And here comes the setup now, this time with the Void Prison, and Zeratul is down again. That's the 3rd time that Zeratul is down. They're just destroying Zeratul. I mean, he is literally taken down in every single fight, pretty much. And that VP did not set them up. And also, there's very little you can use to capitalize on the VP. 7-sided is obviously in, as we've seen previously. Tacita so far still waiting and seeing what kind of ult he wants to go for. Archon would be great for the team fights, yeah, and that's what he does. Level 20, obviously. The best one. Once that you are having the Twilight Archon, you can pretty much keep that up permanently if you're a good poke position. Also, Samuro at this point can really rely on his level 10 to help out in the team fights and also go for the objectives. Yep, and there we go. 7-sided being used again. Swaps walk into it, gets a little bit of damage. They're starting to be low. Samuro isn't there yet. Yeah, there we go. Swaps in. And now Zergling can try and get a bit of damage onto the backline. Hammer, then again, with the poke from afar, is trying to zone them out, and so far doing well here. But the fountain is still up for the Lost Boys, and that allows them to tap quickly and reposition themselves for a potential attack. Yep, in comes Samuro, starting to go in from behind against Hammer. Yep, Hammer immediately going for the Z, moves out of harm's way, but Siege is up again, and they're actually starting to really push into the position here. So Looking for Work has a really nice spot that they now carved out for themselves. But Hosty is pretty low and might even fall, but instead, Casanova is dead again! 4 kills against Zeratul! Zeratul is getting murdered, and now they're trying to obviously take the 5 versus 4 here, gain that advantage. There's a 7-sided being used again. Kilush, oh! Nice recall by Hosty. That was nearly a kill against it. But they're still trying to get this. The problem is they're all low. In incredibly low. I mean, seriously, they haven't really won that fight yet, but they're starting to move out Hammer, and once that Hammer is forced to go back, you have a problem. Uh-oh, and that's a kill. Hammer gets hooked. Great job by Cattle, and that's a kill against them. They're trying to go for Fury too. Zeratul comes back in, might be able to get the kill here, goes for Hosty, and nearly takes him down, but the shield is ready. The channel has been completed on the other hand, which means 24 points against 32 now. And they're starting to go in against Hosty once more, but the heals are there as Karazim still had a bit of mana left, not much, but it's enough. They're making the play for Dark Chimera on Tehran, they can't get the kill there. Karazim finally taken down. And we're already seeing Zergling moving away now too, but damn, what a fight down here. 5 kills against 1. Is that gonna be another one? Talking Trees goes down. Talking Trees dead, and finally Zeratul getting some value here as he goes for Hosty and takes Tracer down. And more might fall. Zergling is in trouble, and... no way! No way! Zergling survives with 30 HP, and well, Cattle falls to Casanova, so finally we're seeing Looking for Work putting in some work. 4 kills against 5 now, but damn, that entire setup here at the bottom of the map was kind of crazy. It's even experience right now for the two teams. But this is a bit bonkers. 10 stacks by now, which means 15 extra regeneration on the HP for Stitches and the Savor the Flavor. We're now having topside also swaps pushing this out, but well, Samuro is ready, so he's going to be able to push this back. And yeah, there we go. Bottom of the map. Bit of a scout. I mean, nothing that he's really going to jump into, so they're just seeing what's happening here. They take their own camp in the meantime. Pumpkins all around. Tasada has nearly completed his level 1, by the way, which means that we're going to have the extra damage on the Storm in just a little bit. We're having now a top side still. Samuro. Like, the real problem is that once that Samuro in the later stages really gets onto structures, he can take them down quite easily, and that's one of the big problems they have. For now, Karazim actually falls at the bottom as they're up to the top trying to get another channel. With a 5 versus 4, you're all of a sudden in a world of pain and real trouble, so unless Hosty gets a kill in, that's going to be 2 altars for the team in blue, and they already channeled 1, which means that we're having now 24 against 28 points, and they might get the second one here now too, and that will put us on even points on the core. That's exactly what happens here. Another 4 shots fired, and the bot lane gets now pressured as well. So after a disastrous early game, Looking for Work is starting to stabilize here and is honestly arriving in this game. Not only do they get the kill slowly, but they're starting to get an advantage at the bottom of the map where they are pushing that bell tower. Swaps Magoo is still defending the top lane with his Blaze plays here. Blood at the bottom of the map. Here comes Hosty again. Hosty with an attempt to go for the hammer, and there could be a kill against him even, but the shield is there. And in comes Karazim. Dark Chimera gets hooked, and that's the end of Tyrande. And the Void Prison saves the tank. Yeah, but now Archon is in play too, and what just looked like a potential bell tower being dropped by Looking for Work is now all of a sudden turning into the Lost Boys claiming the bot lane for themselves. Great performance there by them, and damage output reflects that too. 38,000 for Tracer, which is honestly pretty solid. 45k for Sergeant Hammer at the same time. Level 16 talent would be a big deal now as well. And especially with now 16 ready, they might be able to look for another kill even. Hammer's currently positioning herself at the bottom of the map to reclaim the bell tower, but there's already Stitches starting to move over. Now with a fishing hook, and in addition to that we have the Way of 100 Fists. Tacida's quest is completed. He has the Psionic Echo right now. This is getting a bit dicey. Interrupt even on the hook as the stun comes in. And here comes the Void Slash again. Plus, we're actually having a mortal combo after the defensive measure right there. So more of a focus into the Groundbreaker build with this case for him. And another thing that's really going to be important now is obviously that we're having the Giant Killer for Sergeant Hammer. I mean, duh. That's one of the best talents for him, and especially Stitches is going to hate that. So over here, the rotation comes in as we have Blaze channeling the bot left. Yeah, that's a 1-for-1 so far. 5 shots against 3 fired in favor of the Lost Boys. But they're fighting for this last one. Dark Chimera, a bit of trouble. 7-side deciding is going out. Zeratul is dead. The bunker down. And that's going to be a slaughter. That is going to be an utter disaster as 2, 3, 4 heroes go down. And the boss gets immediately attacked. 19 points already on the core against 21, thanks to the discrepancy in bell towers held by the two teams. Now the boss is gonna fall, the altar gets channeled. That's 9 shots off the core of Looking for Work, which means they are dropping down to 10 at this point. Boom! Straight in your face. 21 points against 10, and a big leading experience for the Lost Boys. They've already claimed the lead in this best of 5 series here at the playoffs. But with this particular effort, it looks like they might be able to take the 2-0 in the best of 5 as we are heading into map number 3. It's a little bit too early to tell. I mean, there's obviously still the chance to get a quick kill against Tracer, Tassadar, or maybe even Karazim from the perspective of Looking for Work and gain some momentum on the map, but it is going to be difficult for sure. They're still trying to hold on to that bot lane, and by now we're also having Pumpkins pushing in from every angle, but keep in mind what I talked about earlier. Samuro is starting to get a lot of work done topside. That's exactly what's happening here. And in the meantime, he also has copies still in the middle, which is exactly where he jumped, so he's pushing several lanes out now. 18.5. This one should fall eventually. Hammer is just too good at taking that. But the hook hits! The hook hits, and the save thanks to Garrosh. Nicely done by him. But again, it's a 4-man defense. 5 heroes are trying to take this one down because it's such an important bell tower to claim. Not only so that you're even again on bell towers, but so that you gain control over the bot lane again. And in the meantime, we're just seeing Samuro taking the value. He has that global mobility right now, and he definitely has enough damage on structures that he can take these bell towers, and that's exactly what he's currently doing at the top side. They might have reclaimed the one at the bottom of the map, but they're losing out on the one top. So that's another 5 versus 3 situation now in favor of the Lost Boys, just as we have a single altar spawning on the map. And that one would drop Looking for Work into the single digits. The Owl scouts the bush, so that helps. 49,000 right now, 52,000 for Hammer. And there we go. This is starting to become a problem. Oh, and that's exactly the combo that they needed. Nice! Looking for Work. Looking for the... Oh, Hammer! The Void Prison again. To try and lock someone down here. In comes Circling, trying to get the hit in. Can he take Hammer down? Oh, he really hurts. And yes, the Hammer is down. He actually pulls it off. It's a 4 versus 4 again. The insta-kill against Tracer was fantastic, but Hammer is dead, and so is Torrand and Zeratul. Oh my god, it's a triple kill again. And they're going for swaps, Magoo, and that might be another kill. Yeah, Karazim comes in, and that's the end of that. And with this, now we're having 4 heroes down, only Garrosh surviving. They're getting another bell tower, which means 5 points on the core against 21. And in addition to that, we're gonna see them take the bot lane. They're gonna go in with now everything else that they have in this arsenal. Honestly, they're gonna get everything. They're gonna end the game here. How do you save those bell towers right now? It's gonna be a barrage that starts, and try and drop one of those bell towers before the 5 shots are fired. That's gonna be impossible. Yep, there we go. They're trying to make a play here. Fury has no chance of killing this, so first shot is already fired. We have 3 seconds until the Hammer's back. Guys, this is game. This is game. They're winning it right here. 3 points left. Shots are fired. Pumpkins are taken all over the place, so there's more pressure on the bottom of the map. Hammer's trying to reclaim the top. That isn't working either. 2 points on the core. It's too late. Core is down to 1, and the last shot gets fired, and that's a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 series for the Lost Boys as they are dropping Looking for Work on Towers of Doom. GG, and well played by the team in red. Game number 3, everybody! Looking for Work against the Lost Boys, and Looking for Work is looking for the first map win so far, and it hasn't really looked good in the last 2 games. Fury this time has decided that he's ready to pop out Uther as the main tank. We have Casanova and Carrigan, so the Divine Shield could definitely benefit her, together with swaps on Urel, who's going to jump in with Carrigan, plus Dark Chimera on Anduin for the heals, and droplets on Sylvanas. Time to go here with Collusion on Alexstrasza for the Lost Boys. Great hero, of course, with the Dragon Queen on the map to claim the objective. Talking Trees on Jaina, Zergling on Blaze, Cattle on Johanna, and Hosty on Lulnara. As we're heading into our 3rd game. Potentially the last game of the series. I mean, at this point, if the Lost Boys are able to win another one, then this is pretty much lights out for Looking for Work, and they would drop into the 3rd place Deciders match. So for now, we're having as level 1 again, Overwhelming Affliction, taken as the talent here. And the rotations are starting. Blaze obviously is going to take the top lane against Urel. And the Kerrigan aggression is something that we have to watch out for. Kerrigan worked out in one of the previous series for the team that picked her, and they did really well with her in the lockdown. We're having now Kerrigan together with Uther and his stun. Not really too much stuns outside of that. I mean, you get a little bit of value from Urel jumping in together with her for sure. But let's see how much they can get with this. So right now, the quest taken on level 1. If you have the Unstoppable on the Paramania, you can really play nicely around Kerrigan. Already, we're seeing a little bit of a zone-out attempt here by Cattle, as they're trying to go for their own camp. Pretty early, and shouldn't really be a problem for them either. So they might actually end up getting 2 of the camps here on the map. And in addition to this, what are we gonna get there? Top side, that's where Blaze is still doing his shenanigans. We're having, in the meantime, the Kerrigan team rotating around. Not really going too aggressive just yet. I mean, the entire Uther setup is focusing again into the Silver Touch as the level 1 talent here. We're gonna see that particular talent tree probably followed through for quite a while. And I'm just interested in the team fight, because once that we are on the objective, Kerrigan has to land these combos. And if everybody is just stacking up and you get a good combo off against 2 heroes, can follow that up with damage, it would be great. But Sylvanas is the only real... I mean, again, not again, right? Like, you have Sylvanas, the main damage dealer, but you have Urel, obviously, with quite a bit of damage too. But it's not that you are having a burst damage mage behind you like Jaina that immediately capitalizes on the stun and just drops the pain there. So that's the one thing that worries me slightly. Sylvanas can obviously do a lot and has been a staple ever since she got completely reworked there. So we're seeing here, especially on the Chinese and Korean side, a little bit more than we do in Europe. But even in Europe, she sees play, and a fair amount of that. So now Cattle getting attacked and zoned out by 3 again as they're trying to jump in. Yep, there's the move out. The combo doesn't connect. Good condemn, but Cattle goes down. Yep, the Alexstrasza heal didn't really do anything. That's a nice attempt, though. I mean, this is really just blocking Swaps Magoo from making it to the top lane. And that's now multiple minions that he missed in experience. That's a really cool move by Zergling. And this is something that is totally undervalued in the lower scenes when you have the amateur scene. So what he did is he basically just pushed out the wave with Blaze, and then he waited for the rotation of Urel that he knew was coming and zoned her out so that more experience was lost on Looking for Work. So that was a really cool move by them, which will eventually bring them a little bit farther ahead. You can already see that Blaze is now starting to settle up in the mid lane, and as the first objective spawns, Kerrigan is probably want to make their move here. Bit of a different talent we're saying in the previous game. Sharpened Blades this time is being taken here. So we're gonna have that for now. And in the same time, Conviction. A speed increase for the Condemned to make not only an escape possible, but also try and move in and start to get that up. Either way, by now, there's the poke happening. And actually we're seeing now also the Nature's Culling. So Nature's Culling currently taken, so that you have a little bit more work that you can do against not only the camps, but in particular against the minions on the objective. Kerrigan finds herself all the way down at the bottom of the map, and now with Blaze rotating in, this is going to be a 5 versus 4 any second. Level 7 talents are there. Lead on the minion stacks for the Lost Boys. Looking good with this. And in comes the damage. Kerrigan, on the other hand, make good job work here. So this is experience lost to the red team. They're rotating Blaze back down, but with level 7 talents now on both sides, the fight at the top is starting to heat up a little bit. Position has still been claimed by Looking for Work, but the Lost Boys are ahead, and by a fair amount, which means that the Dragon Queen from Collusion would pretty much win this objective for them if they pop it here. Droplets gets healed. Anduin doing the job. And there's obviously double support right now, so you have Uther not only in the main tank position, but obviously he's still pretty powerful when it comes to the burst heal after the damage that could come from Jaina. And there we go. Punisher number 1 is already being set up. And with that, we are moving straight in to see if they can maybe get a little bit more. I honestly don't think he used the Dragon Queen. I mean, I might have missed it as I showed Kerrigan at the bottom of the map, but if Dragon Queen hasn't been used yet, then he has an opportunity to use it now when they break through the wall and try and push them past the Punisher. Problem is that that bad boy is nearly eliminated here. So, oh, they go for the kill, and Dark Chimera goes down. Stun against Lunara, but that should be fine. Hosty with good action there. And going into the Splintered Spear. What is this, Europe? No choking pollen for him. Instead, we're seeing the Splintered Spear setup. So, pretty European setup from them so far. In comes the attempted kill against Casanova. Kerrigan was in trouble there for a moment. No, that's not the only thing that is in trouble at this point. We have 9 against 8. Well, pretty much even experience for now. But down at the bottom of the map, there we go. At this point, we have Hosty and Talking Trees pushing the lane out again, going immediately for the camp. And their camp control has been a little bit better than their opponents. Obviously, Jaina is now starting to work on her baseline damage so that he has a chance to get the ice block through. There's the poke, and you wouldn't want to go up against this. I don't think that Casanova has landed a single combo yet. And I don't really want to blame him for this. I really feel the Lost Boys are doing a fantastic job when it comes out of juking. They're really aware of Kerrigan's position every single time there's any action against them. And so far, they've just juked out every single combo attempt that we've seen from Kerrigan here. Level 10 is in. Tiny bit quicker for the blue team. It's not going to last for long, that advantage, as we're now having the Lost Boys also grabbing the heroic ability. And that gives us the Water Elemental again, plus also the Cleansing Flame. So, yep. In addition to that, we're actually having the Light Bomb for Kerrigan. The setup is kind of dirty. I mean, seriously, if you get a good engage off, you can jump in with Kerrigan, the Light Bomb. You're having the combo with the stun afterwards. Uther could now go either into the Divine Shield to empower Kerrigan even more, or he could go into the stun to follow up on any kind of CC that we're seeing from the team there. There's a lot of momentum that they can build up with this. Unless they get poked into the ground. And now we're actually seeing for Lunara also the Thornwood Vines, which is a great talent if you just try and poke from a distance. And there's the Divine Shield. Kerrigan is going to be empowered a little bit by this. Yeah, Kerrigan on the other hand has also just lost half her HP, so that didn't really work for her. And they are poking them through. Yep, there comes the damage, especially with the Splintered Spear on level 7. That AoE damage is making it a little bit harder for the two supports. And in comes, oh, the interrupt, yeah, that jump didn't work out for the GOAT. And they're trying to get the kill now too. Swaps Magoo as the ult out already. And damn, they're really starting to feel the pain here, aren't they? 11 versus 11 and a kill for a kill, but the Shrine is now activating. And this is starting to get dicey, because now it's a question of who wins this. This is the spicy one. The one thing that I find a little bit sad is actually I would have loved to see a fight with every single ult available for the two teams. But right now we have obviously a slight edge on the side of the Lost Boys. They still have the Bunker, the Cleansing Flame, and Thornwood Wine stacks, which means that they have a lot of defensive abilities here still that they can call their own. And yeah, they're going in with the AoE that they have, burning down the wave here quickly, and now make their way into the Shrine. And their AoE is pretty powerful. I mean, you have not only Lunara and Jaina, you have in addition to that also Blaze with the oil spill. And set that at Blaze immediately, which he does right now. They're starting to try and catch up since we already have a lead there. Again, the combo not connecting. Cattle, oh, in trouble. But the Dragon Queen this time used Divine Shield and the bomb actually on droplets. Now, that light bomb didn't do a whole lot, but at least that Divine Shield kept her alive. Problem is that Swaps is now low too, and this entire setup has changed quickly. I mean, just look at the amount of stacks that we're seeing for the Lost Boys. That should be an easy win for them, but Kerrigan comes in now with the ult, goes for the Maelstrom. They're trying to get the kills here. 36 points. 37, the kill against Blaze, 39, and that's a Punisher. Punisher goes in for the party. Fury gets poked low. And they're moving towards the top, jumping around here as we have another attack by the Lost Boys against the middle. Right there. At this point, this is a chance, of course, to try and take down not only the wall, but the first fort of the game. Yeah, still 2 kills in favor of looking for work against 1, but level 13 talents should be there soon, and this fort is just a goner. I mean, this is an Arcane Punisher to boot, so that makes things even worse for them. The slows are incredible, like that CC is just insane. And the Blessed Shield came out too, dropping Uther, no chance for him to do anything here. Well done by the Lost Boys. And yeah, a lot of this comes from the slows that we're seeing from Jaina, Blaze, and, well, Lunara. 3 heroes on that lineup have slows available to them, so whenever there's an attempt to retreat from looking for work, there's a good chance that it's not going to happen anytime soon. Let them wither! Taken out on level 13, Plus, in addition to that, we have also the 13 talents coming in from the opponent's team, and that allows now Sylvanas to be a little bit more aggressive. With the Wind Runner, there's definitely the opportunity for them to make a couple of additional plays through that. Sylvanas right now sitting topside for the XP. Still 2 kills against 2. It's an interesting game. Again, it's everything on the line for looking for work now. If they want to have a chance to reach the grand final, then they need to come back into this by winning Infernal Shrines. And so far, they have lost the fort at the bottom of the map, but they have just a composition that can really just snowball a bit. If you get just curb stomped by this one, then yeah, Lost Boys, once they lose one hero, they might lose just so much more afterwards, because Kerrigan is just hopping around like a bunny together with Swaps McGowan, and could literally just hunt them down whenever they try and retreat there. So that's a big one. At this point, we're having still another fight, maybe even forced now. Look at Jaina on the other hand. Nearly done. Well, not close to being done with her baseline, and that would be another problem, because then you have to deal with the ice block too, and she could literally just ice block the combo. Good move. Hosty gets away. Silence comes in a little bit too late, maybe. Bunker's on the ground, but there's the kill, and now the chase could be on. Could they get more than one kill? There's the Divine Shield on Casanova. The stun as they attempt to turn it around. Lunara dead. There's the kill against Sylvanas. Yep, and the ice block on the combo. Quest gets completed, the baseline is done, and that ice block is saved. Jaina, she got the kill against Sylvanas, and now they come in again. The hobbity hop against Talking Trees, but thanks to the cleansing fire, we're having now immediately the save from, or the cleansing flame, we have immediately the save from Alex Raza. And that battle just doesn't end, does it? Oh, they're trying to retreat here. But the poke is still real, and especially Kerrigan can, of course, always turn this around. But a nice move by Anduin as he pulls her out. She was a bit too deep there. Again, the attempt, but Unstoppable is now available for him thanks to the trade. Completed the level 1 quest and uses it immediately. And that's the real problem. Having all those Unstoppables now with the, first of all, not only the Iron Skin, plus also the Pyromaniac and the Ice Block, you have to really look at the target that you're trying to go for. If there's anything available on the other side to dodge the combo, then you're reliant on the cooldowns again before you can make the second attempt. And that's really something that their comp does not enjoy a lot. They want the momentum. They need the momentum. And they're going to try and use that. Obviously, the double support is also something that's really powerful here for looking for work, in addition to the armor that Urel can provide. It's about the next objective, and 16 talents are ready on both sides, and that gives us the Draconic Discipline. At this point, the Lost Boys have such a massive advantage going into an objective, it's crazy. Divine Shield is in, Light Bomb has been used, and Kerrigan tries to get the combo, does against circling, and immediately the bunk on the ground. Bunk on the ground, moves away, Pyromaniac is in action, and they're trying to poke it around now. Shrine is active. Camps are pushing the top lane in the meantime, and yep, they're moving in again. And they get the lead. Water Elemental is still in play, and so far the Dragon Queen has not been used. So 3 kills against 3, slight lead now, and there's the Dragon Queen. Extra 7 seconds, that's fantastic for them. Anduin with a save again for Kerrigan. Fury is low. Oh, Fury! Uther! Oh, he gets out, but they are all poked into oblivion. I mean, just look at Droplets here. He's nearly dying, even with a double support, and just barely makes it out. Now we have a 23 against 3 stack lead for the Lost Boys, and they're just continuing that setup. And now it feels like there's no way to win the objective anymore, at least not if they can't somehow get their HP back. And the double support is really helping them, so they're trying to re-engage here, but as you can tell, it's just too much. The wave clear is ready, and they are getting this one easily, and that's another one pushing through the middle. Well, in the same time, we're having the bot lane attack too, and that is a lot of damage against the keep. It's not gonna fall here, but that's a lot of damage against the keep regardless. That's down to half HP. Possession is finding some value, so that's actually really helping them. But Uther is dead again, and he doesn't have 20. There is no redemption yet. There is no redemption at this point. The fort is going to fall. But honestly, just having that one catapult there is helping them so much right now. Nobody's helping them in the mid lane on the other hand, because, well, the wall goes down and the keep might fall. If it doesn't fall, it is going to take a lot of damage too. But they're already starting to poke that down as well. And as long as that Punisher is still alive, there's no way that there is going to be a huge engage from looking for work. There's the jump, and the keep is toast. First keep is down, and the Lost Boys, they move away. They actually can rotate down to the bottom of the map and see if they can make poke a little bit more towards the keep and take that one as well. But they go for the camp instead. This one gets a little bit of damage in. Talking Trees is pushing the lane out. That helped. Things are getting tricky. Looking for Work has to find the ticket back into this game. Some answer to that question of how do we take that backline out. They got a few kills against Lunara earlier, and that really helps. But as you can tell here, they're having trouble. 60,000 damage on Lunara, 35,000 on Jaina. And they're getting chased at this point. I mean, Fury is again completely caught, and they are actually... Anduin, every time Anduin. The combo on the other hand not working out, and it's a disaster. Down goes Sylvanas, but Jaina falls. The problem is that Kerrigan is also going to be dropped now. She's not the only one. Nope, it's a potential triple kill. Swaps Megoo on Urel, gets eliminated too, and they are moving into the middle. They want to end the game here. What? I was expecting a push to the bot lane for keep number 2, but with the 2 camps and the catapults pushing in, they're actually looking to end the game. They want to have a 3-0 in the best of 5 series, and with Lunara, they might actually be able to pull it off. She's the main damage for them. The damage over time kicks in, and they're just hopping around the core right now. The minions are there, and they have the Dragon Queen. And that core is starting to fall quickly. Everybody is slowed down, guys. This is not looking good for Looking for Work. Not at all. The Lost Boys, they want the victory. They're looking for the victory. And with the wave pushing in, they're gonna get the victory. This is the 3-0 as we have Lost Boys taking the W on Infernal Shrines and claiming the victory in the best of 5 series without dropping a single map. GG and well played. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind, though, that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support, and see you guys next time.